Hello, can you hear me now? So yesterday we were discussing about this one. Okay, up to here we have discussed, and if you want to create like this to make use of the jdbc template, each of your DAO classes need to be configured with this. And in case if you want to annotate it, we have to include this in the Spring configuration file. We'll add a new bean over here called jdbc template. Browse. So this one we need to add. Give the name. Next and then finish. And this bean it is referring the data source class. So let me go to source over here. So this template is added, and this template it has got a property. Our name is equal to data source, and it is referring to data source. I guess it because yesterday we were discussing about the auto voiding concept. Once you do this, so over here also you can add auto void. That is okay. If you want to add the auto voiding property over here, you need to add this information and the Spring configuration file. Once you add it, then automatically it will auto wire the bean. So we yesterday actually we did not add this information. We were trying to auto wire the bean. Now let us try to execute this. Anyway, it has executed without any errors. I think we have removed some code yesterday. Yeah, over here, let me add the code. At the rate post construct. Fine. So this is how auto wiring is implemented. Now,
Atika, sorry, can you remind again what was that add post construct?
where is that method? This one, after the bean is constructed, it will call this method.
Okay, I got it. Remember now.
Post construct
Thank
we
you.
have, and then pre-destroy.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Hmm. Next, okay, we have to discuss about resource loader. Uh, we have already seen, okay, how to read the resources. Now, if in case, okay, if you have to load the resources, you have to use this message source org.springframework.context.support.resource bundle message source. Now first what we are doing is we have created two properties files. Oh shit. So this property file, it has got all the messages in Spanish, and let me just change this. This property file has the messages in English. Login success. Username or password is incorrect. So welcome to contacts application. Let's say title. Menu one is add a contact, delete a contact, update a contact, find a exit. So add a contact, and then you've got update a contact, and then delete a contact, fourth one as exit. Now similarly, if you want to support more languages, you need to create a separate property file for each. This is how it works. For English, menu underscore English, we have created one property file. And for menu underscore ES, that is Spanish, we have created another property file. Similarly, if you want to support more languages, you need to keep on adding these properties file. Now, next what we have is, that is, okay, this is called as internationalization. So, in order to implement the internationalization, you need to take help of a bean that is called as resource bundle message source. I repeat, in order to implement internationalization, we require a bean that is resource bundle message source. So in this bean, it has got a property that is called as base name. So in the base name, you will specify the value. You'll specify this value menu. That is default is English. Menu you'll specify. The base name is menu. And then based on the language, you will add the extension EN, ES, RU, Russia, FR, French, whatever you are supporting. Now after you do that, one minute. Now after you do that, what you do is, okay, you will get access to that. You will get access to the resource loader menu. And then, okay, context dot get message main dot title. If it is not, then null. And over here you're specifying it as locale dot English. So it will go and read the contents from this menu underscore en file from this. Over here when you're specifying this locale, so it will go and get the contents from this file. And when you specify locale as Spanish, it will go and read the contents from this file. So based on the language that is selected by the user, it will read the contents from that specific file. So this is called as internationalization in Spring. That is, it will have language specific and the country specific behavior. So let us just execute this. Click run as Java application. See over here, this one is welcome to contacts in English, and then Spanish is something XY that I don't know. So is this clear? So for internationalization, you need to add this. That's it. You need to add this resource bundle message source. If you add this bean, to this bean you need to add a property called base name and provide the value of your properties file, base value for your properties file, and at the runtime, whichever locale you are specifying, it reads from this. If you specify the locale as English, it will read the content from menu underscore en dot properties, and if you specify the locale as Spanish, it will read the contents from this menu underscore es dot properties.
I think
Hmm?
a couple of questions. So the first question was in the XML file. Context, yeah, that one. Right. So here we have the annotation tags in line 9 and 10, right,
Hmm.
to scan for annotations. But then we also have bean definition. So these both can coexist.
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was one of the other. Okay, so okay, so that's fine. Now the second question is here, the property base name. The value menu, is this the menu value? So this value is the first part before the underscore in the file name.
Yes.
So if I had like I don't know, like messages underscore en dot properties, then the value would be messages, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, got it. And if can you go back to the code where you were reading the message? So yeah, here. So here, all we did was, so we don't need to do any get be nothing. We just use context dot get message. That's all.
We have already done it over here.
Okay, where was it?
Okay, fine. Get bill we don't require.
Yeah, we don't need. Okay, now what if I have multiple message, like multiple properties? I mean, I have menu dot properties, then I might have messages underscore en dot properties. How do I do those multiple file loads?
Like whenever you're going with this, okay, you will have property name as equal to base name. So one value you should specify for the base. So if you're having multiple properties file,
Uh-huh.
sorry. Now look over here, this its name is resource bundle message source.
Oh, there is a property called set base names. I just saw it.
over here,
There
set base name.
names.
So over here, you can specify the multiple properties file,
Okay.
and when you are specifying the multiple, it will start searching from first, second, third, fourth. Wherever
I
it finds, it will return it. Otherwise, you will receive an error message.
Okay, so in that case, we can just go to the context XML and use the property b names instead
Yes.
of b name, and then set the okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, well. So generally, whenever we are loading properties or configuration file, it will support more than one. It will support multiple files. So over here, you can go with the base names. So when you're going with the base name, it is single string base name. And if you are going with the multiple, okay, you can see it as an array of argument. So you can go with this base names.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, this way you can go with the comma separated list. And the another thing what we have is property placeholder configure. This we have already discussed. Now, okay, we are having a class that is called as login, wherein you are having the two properties. One is username, the other one is password. So we have created one file that is env underscore dev.properties. So let us go to this file and have a look. So you have got username and then the password. So you want to set the values. You want to set username to the satika08@gmail.com and password to test@123. In this case, what are we doing is, let us start. Over here, you can specify dollar of username and dollar of password. So username is set to the value what you retrieve from it, from the properties file, and the password is again set to the value what you have retrieved. So let me just see over here. This one, system.out.println. Let me just write a comment on this. That is, okay, you're going to this class, login service implementation class. Over here you have got this login service. Oh, we are just retaining the value true. Okay. Okay, sorry, over here, login service. This class we have login service implementation. Over here you are having two things. One is username and then the password. So username is set to the value what we are providing, and the password is again set to the value whatever we have provided. So let us print that sys out. Let me just print that stuff. Let us not consider all this. Let's move this. Let's say okay, you're just having the code. wherein you've got two properties, username and password, and public void print properties. You just want to check whether it is being initialized or not. So sysout username is equal to plus username, and then next what you have is password is equal to plus password. That's it. So now from your chapter 1 test class you will call print properties. So rather than calling all this, so straight away after initializing, after getting the reference to the bean, let me call, I think I did not save this, that is the reason it is not reflecting. Print properties. So let us check it. Right click, run as Java application, then it has initialized. So this is how you can initialize the properties from the bean file. Any questions on this? So point number one, what are you doing is you're taking help of this. Now after you get this, after you get the reference to this thing, then you have this login service DAO implementation class. And in this you are having two things. So username and then the password. So what are we trying to do is, with the help of the XML configuration file, we are trying to initialize username and password to the values retrieved from the properties file. So let me just copy this. So you have this. And then again you have got one more thing, that is your properties file. So from this properties file, you are retrieving this values, this and this, dollar of username and dollar of password, and these values are being initialized to this login service implementation class. That is, it is going to this class, it will go to this class. Where is this login service? Username is initialized to the value which we have provided, and the password is initialized to test the rate 123. So first it will read the properties file, then second it will assign the value, third it will go to this bean class and it will assign the value. Clear with this? Is the cycle clear? And the login service class, we don't have anything. We have just two properties and we are printing that. These properties we have initialized it through XML and we are just printing those properties. That's it. We don't have any code over here.
Atika, did we write the main program in login service implementation Java class? Where did we write the main program? I'm looking for that actually.
This one.
Oh, okay.
You're getting the reference to this one and we are just calling it so that it should print the properties what we have initialized to from
Okay.
the bean class. So the complete steps, okay, we have recorded over here. So first you need to load the properties file with the help of property placeholder configure. It will create a properties table and once it is done, then you have this bean ID and you have that is okay for this bean you have got username and password. So username we're trying to initialize with this by reading the data from the properties file and dollar of password again it will read the data from the properties file. So once it is initialized your username will have this value and your password will also have the same value. We'll get the value from you. This is how you can initialize.
I think what is that add service annotation?
Okay. Generally, whenever we are creating the applications, it is a layered approach. We over here we are keeping the components at one layer only. But if in case, but in the real time, you will keep all the layers at different. That is DAO. You will place it at a separate layer, and the service you will keep it at separate layer. Bean you will keep it at at this different layer. So this, whenever you are annotating it, this with at the rate service means this class is eligible to work as a component at the service layer, wherein you will be providing all the business logic. So this
So is it
class,
just like a classification we are doing to class what?
yeah, it is just like classification. This class, okay, you can keep it at the service layer. Like we have repository, same the way, okay, we are having this at the rate service layer. So this class is eligible to be on the service layer. Like if you see this, okay, total how many we have? 3 to 4 we have. So service you have controller, you have got repository. The mean service, that means the service controller and repository are functionally the same. They are used to separate the layers in your application. So controllers just do stuff like dispatching, forwarding, calling service method. Servers they will hold the business logic and repositories they have access to DAO. So it is just for the separation of the concerns. And this one okay, it will get data access exception. Controller will work like request dispatcher, and this one accepting the request, dispatching the request, and calling the service method. And as you see, here the service method will hold the business logic. It is further classified into these 1, 2, 3, 4 types, and the purpose is to keep each uh, is to separate the layers so that okay you can keep your business logic at a separate layer, controller logic at a separate layer, and business logic at a separate layer. Clear with this? The same way wherever you see the component in your service layer. Now next, going forward with this JDBC template, now we were working on this contacts DAO implementation. Let us write the code further. Now let us write the code to select the data. Private final string select statement is equal to select star from contacts. Now we have got insert this, and then again you've got this, that is get all the contacts. Now in order to do this, what you can do is you can implement a class that is called as row mapper. First, okay, we will write the code for row mapper. Class contact row mapper implements row mapper contacts. Now over here, simple. So what it does is this row mapper class, row mapper, it is a built-in class. So the job of the row mapper is each row, let's say okay, you've got some 10 rows. So let's say okay, you've got some 3 rows and you have some data in this. So the document mapper row will get each row as an input. It will get each row as an input and it will convert this to the object. It will get the row and it will convert it to an object. That is the job of the document row mapper. So it will get this row and it will convert this into an object. Clear with this? Is the scenario clear? The job of the document row mapper is it will take input as a row and it will convert that to an object. So that is what we are trying to do. So as it said, this one integer will give you the row number. What is the current row number that you are processing? And over here, it has to convert it into an object. So let us create an object by name contacts is equal to new contacts, and c dot set contact ID is rs dot because we have set everything as string, rs dot get string of contact ID, and then you have got c dot set contact name, rs dot get string, contact number, and you can return this contact. See, that's it. So this is what is your document mapper class. Now over here, because we have already created the JDBC template, you need to query this. So JDBC is going to return you the list of contacts. Contact list you have is equal to jdbc template dot. So this you can use this string query, your SQL is select statement, and then the row mapper class. Your row mapper class is new contact row mapper. So this one is going to return you the contact list for, you can loop through here itself and get 20 contacts. This out, let it return the null value. So where is the model class? Okay, fine, everything is set. So what is this? Fine, let's get all contacts. Sorry, you need to add this over here. Get all. So we'll invoke get all and it should print all the contacts. So let me go over here, contact test, and try cdao dot get all. It should return you the list of all the contacts available in the system. See, two contacts we have, it is returning you the two contacts. So please have a look at this. If you have any doubts, okay, you can just let me know. Any questions on the document row mapper? Sorry, contacts row mapper class and this one. Clear with this? Okay, now this is how it works, and there are various methods that are available in the JDBC template. Based on your requirement, you can use any. Like this overloaded, many methods are available. Okay, you can uh, query for integer, you see query for list. Over here, if you see, okay, it is returning you the list of objects. If you just specify query for list, okay, it is returning you the list of objects. And query for the element type, you can just browse the API. Various overloaded methods are available. You can use it anyone based on your requirement. If you see over here, you will find a huge bunch of the methods that are overloaded. So we can use any based on our requirement. So Spring Transaction Manager we have. And the Spring Transaction Managers, Spring does not directly manage the transactions. It has a managers that delegate the responsibility for transaction management to the platform-specific transaction implementation either provided by JTA or persistence mechanism. So simple. So data source transaction manager, if in case if you're using the JDBC. And if you're using the other frameworks like Hibernate, JDO or JTA or persistence looker, these are the various frameworks that are available for performing the JDBC operations. So if I am making use, if I am performing or if I am writing the persistence logic using the Hibernate, then if any errors or if any queries we have related to transactions, then it should be managed by the Hibernate Transaction Manager. If you are using JDO as a persistence provider, then the transaction should be handled by the JDO Transaction Manager. And if you're using JTA as a persistence provider, then you should use JTA Transaction Manager to handle the transactions. So if you have a look at this diagram, the Spring, it has got the built-in class or the default class, that is Platform Transaction Manager. From there, okay, you are having the various subclasses: data source, JDO, and JTA Transaction Manager. And each one has its own implementation: JDBC, Hibernate, JDO, OGB, and then JTA. Just hold on for a second. So this we will cover the Spring Transaction Manager after we are done with the web. So and then again then we need to start with this remoting we're not going to discuss. Then we need to start with the Spring Web layer. This we will start tomorrow because I think we'll not be able to complete this today. So Spring Web layer will start tomorrow. AOP we have and then the web layer and the transactions. So we'll start this tomorrow. So this we will wind up the session for today, and tomorrow we will start with the Spring Web layer.
Atika,
Yes.
can you put a mail to Monica to upload the videos? The last video we have is the first spring class video. That's it. After that, we don't have any videos of yours.
Okay, sure.
Because we just have the basic of the spring concept video, and to follow all these things we need those videos so that we can practice a bit.
Okay, fine.
Please. Thank you,
Yeah.
Atika.
Okay, well.